Hey, it's your buddy Billy. Have you checked out the new online store for the PFC Podcast Network yet? If you haven't, you really should. There's all kinds of great merchandise over there, from shirts and hoodies to throw pillows, hats, mugs, glassware, and all other kinds of merchandise available with the great logos and designs from all the wonderful shows here on the Podcast Network. So head on over to the official online store of the PFC Podcast Network. Go to cafepress.com/PFC Network for all the latest information from the official online store of the PFC Podcast.
I'm Jason Clouse. And over the course of my life, I have done a lot of different things and worn a lot of different hats. But this may be my greatest endeavor yet. I may go on rants, and I may go on sidebars, but we're going to talk about how we can make a positive difference for ourselves and for each other. This is the Clouse to the Heart Show on YouTube.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of the Real Podcast here on the PFC. Why are you laughing right out of the gate?
I
was all serious about this, and you just started laughing and knocked me off my train of thought. Is it because of my delivery?
Sure intros too.
Is it my booming voice? My over the top P.T. Barnum type of presentation?
I love it. Or it could be his faces. I mean, one of the two.
Oh, well, let's start this over. This is the Real Podcast here on the PFC Podcast Network, powered by Anchor.fm. I'm Jason Clouse, being joined by the star of the show, Amy Sheridan, and her son Matt is back with us as a correspondent or a special guest co-host on this week's episode. We're doing something cool this week, Amy. We talked about it last week. In addition to recording it normally for the podcast, we are actually going to film this recording session, and it's going up onto the Clouse to the Heart YouTube channel. So it's going to be kind of a simulcast of sorts, because there has been interest. What is the dynamic that happens between you and I as we're recording this? Well, they're going to get a sneak peek, as it were. We're going to pull the curtain back.
I know, it's kind of crazy. I feel like we're like breaking the fourth wall. I don't know if I exactly agree with this, because isn't there like some mysteriousness to just be? Now they can see me, and they can see the kind of faces I make and shit.
That's going to be the fun part of it, I feel like.
I don't know if I like that.
That's part of the charm of the show, I feel like, you know?
I think it is, too.
You know, there's the banter, you can hear it, and when you don't have a visual aid, like you can really pick up on all of the feelings, all of the emotions that go into whatever it is that we're talking about. But when you see it, it's something totally different. The facial expressions, the animations, the body language, all of that stuff. Yeah. And so it's going to be kind of cool. This is something that we're going to do periodically across all of our shows here on the network. Pick certain topics, certain episodes, because by and large, unless I'm recording by myself, they are done on Skype. They are recorded. Right. I just choose not to utilize that footage. Now, Skype will only hold those files for 30 days or something like that before they're out of here.
Oh,
so
that sucks.
It does. But the cool part is because I realized that's what they were doing. I actually save a copy on my computer just in case.
Yay! Look at you thinking ahead.
Listen, I try. It doesn't always work out in my favor, but I at least put the effort in.
Right.
So, real quick at the top of the show here, and I'm sure you do too, want to give a quick shout out to another member of the PFC Podcast Network. Nikki Falsoni did some voiceover work for your new open. And she did fantastic.
Her. She did amazing. I am so super appreciative. And I know that Jason did not read that message to you in my voice when I instructed him to. But yes, I totally want her to know, like, she home run. Hit it out of the ballpark. I could not be more pleased. Like the first one that you presented to me, like it was good, and it was a really good start. But as you knew, I would hate that one voice.
I kind of used it as a rib on you to begin with because I know how you feel about it. But at the same time,
I was trying to be so nice too.
I knew what was coming back. I was just waiting to see how it was going to be worded.
Oh my gosh.
For those who I don't know if I should attempt this or not, but for those who don't know what I'm talking about, like this mixer thing that I've got here has limited capabilities in terms of special effects that I can add to the show. One of them is a voice changer, and it gives me like a man, a woman, a child, a robot. So I was like, which one of these can I use? Because based on how I wanted the open to be with the clips of us talking on previous episodes, I wanted that voiceover to kind of separate our voices from the voiceover, right?
Yeah.
So I would sit there and talk like this.
Oh, you did. Oh my God.
So
that is even worse in person.
Listen, can I tell you this? When I use any of the voice changing things, I have to take the headset off. I can't hear it while I'm doing it because it fucks me up so bad.
Yeah.
That's not my voice, and it like echoes, and like I'm struggling to keep up with what I'm listening to. It totally messes with my mind. So whenever I do anything with those voice changers, like I have to drop this thing because I can't hear it. And then I'll go back and re-listen to it. But it's crazy. Matt,
I'm just super excited that Nikki was able to do it. I mean, she's got such a smooth voice. It's just, if I was a lesbian, I would listen to her voice. It's just so calming, so smooth, like, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's just one of those really nice voices, and I dug it.
She has the kind of voice that doesn't make you want to turn the show off. It's very soothing. It's very, she has a distinct style in the way that she talks and what she sounds like. So yeah, we were talking, you and I were talking about it, and you're like, well, can we possibly do this or do that? And I reached out to Nicole and I said, this is what I've recorded, because I sent her the file of the actual opening. I said, this is what I need. Instead of this voice, I need your voice on there. And she's like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And we had a recording session last week, and once we got done doing that, she actually recorded the voiceover for that. So I was able to take it, cut it up, drop it in the appropriate spots. I sent you the copy of it, and that's what you heard at the top of the podcast here. So,
I mean, I will say, in a perfect world, the music that you had made my second opening, because I know, you're toying with openings and stuff. The music that you had for that second opening, that made me feel like as soon as you hear it, it's like, oh, and it's like nice and bubbly, and it makes you kind of feel good inside. So in a perfect world, if that music matched the opening we have now, like the new opening, that would be amazing. But it doesn't. It doesn't fit it at all.
Right.
So, I'm just spitballing there. Because that music that we had before, it was just a very good, feel-good vibe, But I like the new opening better because I just, I love Nikki's voice.
Well, right. And I felt like I wanted an open, yeah, you're right. I'm toying around with all of the openings.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting, I find myself with a little bit more time to play around and try this and try that. And I wanted something that was going to let the listeners know. And I kept in mind, okay, if you're a first time listener, and you don't know what this show is about, well, here's some clips. This is what you can expect. And so when we get into the show and it's like, oh, it's not such a culture shock. You know what I mean? Because like you said, the previous music was bubbly, it was light, it was this, that, and the other thing, and then you come on here and F this and screw that and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting.
I know.
But
it was still good music. You got to keep that on tap for something, though.
It's on file.
Okay.
It's on file. Make no mistake about it.
I can see Matt's getting bored.
He is. Matt, how are we doing today, pal?
Doing great.
Great. It's my.
As you can see me now.
I'm of the understanding that you were a contributor to the idea of this week's episode.
I was the creator of this week's episode's topic.
I will not deny that.
I had a friend over and I ran upstairs. I'm like, Mom, I have the best idea ever. And I laid it out.
Well, we're going to tackle it. We're going to see what comes of this. I feel like, Amy, you and I are getting set up for failure and humiliation with this.
That was the other thing that I really wasn't looking forward to this. Because I have no idea what this kid is about to present us. And I'm scared.
Well, this is where the rubber meets the road, as they say. This is where, it's really going to put into context just how far out of the loop we really are in terms of what is happening with the younger demographic.
I don't want to look stupid.
Well, I don't either. Nobody likes to look stupid, but I mean, this is what people tuned into shit for because they want to see that, and this.
They want to.
I don't know huh?
I said they want to see us look dumb.
Yeah, that's that fall from grace or whatever they want to call it or what have you. So, Matt, go ahead and kind of lay out the groundwork here, pal. What are we doing today?
Okay, so as we all know, the generations have a slight disconnect in words that they use in their everyday speech. My dictionary of words that I use on a daily basis could be very different from my mother's. Like, to this day, she still says awesome sauce.
I do say awesome sauce.
It's very not with the times, and or like cool beans. You know what I mean?
I say cool.
Oh, hold on. Cool beans is one of those universal gimmicks, man. That will always be a thing.
All right. Sure.
I got your back on that one.
Cool beans. All right.
Awesome sauce is pretty good too. I don't know what.
Well, that one's kind of. I appreciate it because of the word awesome. That's kind of the gimmick here. I understand that part. Awesome sauce. I've just always associated with you, and anytime I have ever heard that, your face pops up. So I give it a slide on that for that very reason.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I'm gonna just basically be reading some lingo, words that us younger people use all the time, and then you guys are going to try and guess what it means, and then I'll tell you the correct answer afterwards. And I will allow you guys to ask for like context or like use it in a sentence like a spelling bee.
Can we phone a friend?
I don't know about all that.
I
can be the friend you can phone. You lose that one. So
Oh,
Okay.
damn it.
if you guys are ready, I could start you off with an easy one.
Wait, do we get something if we know it?
A pat on the back and a good job, sport.
I can't believe you were saying good job, sport. You know how dated that phrase
Yeah,
is?
I had to use it so you guys would understand what I meant.
Here we go. Okay. This guy. This guy.
Damn
All
it.
right, man.
All right, so I'm going to use one that is pretty well known. I assume at least, hopefully both of you will know what it is. High key or low key.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like high key, like haiku.
No, there's
That's
low
what I
key
thought,
and there's
too.
the alternate version. High
Yeah. Okay. So low key. That's like on the down low, right?
Right. It's not
Yeah.
really prominent. It's
So-
more of an underlying thing, right?
So the opposite of that, Jason, would be high key, which is out in the open.
key. Yeah, basically.
Very
Like,
much in
it's
the
a well-known
forefront.
thing. This is gonna make you guys like overthink everything, and it's
It
gonna be
is.
amazing. Next we could use cap. What does cap mean?
I think I know this one too.
Can you use it in context?
Yeah.
no,
hold on.
I think I know this one.
Okay.
It's
You say cap. I'm thinking the thing that you put on your head.
no,
Oh,
no, 'cause
or like a salary cap.
I seen I seen these. Someone was saying like no cap,
A contextual thing I could do is
like truth or something. It means the truth, like you're not lying. Oh, I got it!
yeah.
Woo!
No
Cap
idea.
is
No
another
clue.
word for lying. I don't know why. There's a certain reason. I didn't look into it. I just say it.
Haven't you heard of that when people are like no cap, no cap?
No,
Like
I've never
they'll
heard that.
say, I just made chili out of vegan noodles and
This pizza is good. No cap. You could have just. Like,
I have never heard that. I have never
Yeah.
heard that phrase. Ever.
I just see it online a lot.
all right. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna keep giving you just some easy ones, and so I can lead into these really hard ones.
Oh shit.
It
So.
gets harder?
That was kind
Yeah.
of hard though.
Oh, okay. I just assumed since you've heard me say it so much. Let's say it's different. It's different.
It's
If you want
different?
context, use it in a sentence. Man, this music hits different.
Oh, I mean,
Like
it affects you in a
Is
way
it-
that you wouldn't expect. You know?
Yeah, like it's like it's almost like it's a better way of hitting, like of touching your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you weren't expecting it to be as beneficial to your well-being as it is. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Can,
like I said,
can it be used negatively? Like this just hits different? Like
yeah, it could. It's all.
I
based
feel
on
like
tone.
that's not a new term.
I mean, it could not be a new term, but that's what a bunch of people are saying in my.
That's what you guys are reinventing.
Yeah.
Kinda
Well,
like
there is
the-
another demo, another demo of people that will say it hits differently, and it's a completely different, context as to what they're talking about. It's like, this one hits different.
as
Just
I'm
throwing it out.
baking.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Shit hits different.
It does.
All right. This one is a newer word. Can you guys tell me what a simp is?
A simp?
Yeah.
Like a
Is it simple?
simple, yeah, like a simpleton.
Not particularly.
Then I got nothing.
I've told you about this, Mom. I've told you about it a long time ago, but
You said it was new.
it's new. It's late last year, early this year.
Oh, okay.
So a simp is someone who, like, is just overwhelmingly obsessed with a person. Like, overwhelmingly obsessed with someone to where it negatively affects that person. So, like,
Like a stalker?
kind of, yes. But, like, if you were to say, oh, I'm simping for this someone, it means that you're throwing away all self-respect just to get with someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Changing yourself to match what they want. So
Jason.
say it. Say it.
That's, what?
When you. When.
I know where you're going.
When you.
Do we know people like this? Yes, we do.
Yeah, no, I know that, but that wasn't like when you hear that word simp, don't you think of something else?
Yeah.
Am I just thinking of a different word?
No,
No,
I
you
feel like
know what I'm talking about?
I feel like we're
okay,
connected here.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, because he said when I'm simping for someone, I'm just like, like the creature that is in my head is not. Go ahead, next one. But you're too young for that.
A story for another time.
Yeah.
All right.
Like when you're in your 30s.
Okay. Another word. Drip. What is drip?
Drip is like the coolness, right? It has something to do with you looking good, you feeling good, something along those lines.
You got it, Jason.
Boom!
I
Thank
thought it
you,
was
Seth
drunk.
freaking Rollins.
Or like a bad nasal
Issue.
infection.
Nasal
the
drip?
the drip or a fucking STD.
Lord have
I got
mercy.
the drip. Not me. Him.
Okay. I'm going to my alternate list to kick it up a notch. Because, yeah, these ones are ones that I use on a regular basis. Let's start with W. Just the letter
Is
W.
it W or is it pronounced W?
No, it's W.
Okay, that was a stupid.
And clearly not the letter, right? So we're
Yeah.
not.
Just W.
It's just the letter W.
Is it somebody? I shouldn't say that, but I got nothing, man. Like the first thing when I heard W, I'm thinking, what do I have like a split personality or something like that?
Mhm.
Like two of me.
Yeah, it's not that.
Is it like
Okay.
winning?
Kind of.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
just-
thinking W, winning.
Yeah, if you throw up the W, you get the win. You're not losing. You're succeeding in life. So, like, people will say, like, W friend. So to say that you're like a good friend, it's a win to have you as a friend. You know, it's really dumb. I know.
Well, I'm like, why can't they just say,
You're a
hey,
good friend?
you're a cool friend?
Because we are so linked to the internet, and our brains are melting every day. So
I can see that.
yeah, it's just a win.
Hey. Ding.
So the next word, I'm sure you've heard me say this, Mom. It's POG. P-O-G, not P-A-W-G.
Okay, well, I know what a pog was
Yeah.
when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
there was them little disc things that
Yeah.
you had to slammer, and you had to pew, and then you'd steal someone else's pogs that you knocked off the tower, and it was
Mhm.
like the coolest game, and I used to collect them bitches.
It's not that.
Never played it.
You've
Pog,
never played pogs?
No, I knew about it, but it was out of my wheelhouse, man. I just wasn't interested in it.
It was super awesome.
I'm glad.
What is a pog?
I have no idea.
So
Is it like a tiny frog?
it's really weird that you say that. Because, okay, so
Like a,
on a streaming service called Twitch, I'm not sure if either of you have heard of that. Well,
I know what Twitch is.
But yeah, on Twitch, you can have little emotes. And there was, at one point, an emote called Pog Champion. And pogging is a literal just a facial emotion, and it's often like used when you're experiencing something awesome, and it's literally just. I'm gonna have to do it because it's going to be on YouTube. It's literally just. Sick. That's what pogging is.
That's a pog.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
you're like, oh, this is so cool, or like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just we use that to describe like a cool situation, like something is awesome.
That's so bizarre.
This one has been
Why can't you
used
just say awesome sauce?
because
I mean, that's
that's
awesome.
dated.
It's not fucking
It's
dated.
dated.
You're dated.
I am dated. My days are numbered. Anyways, next one is strictly on TikTok. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it elsewhere, other than maybe Instagram.
Well,
It's
then I'm out.
ratio.
Ratio?
Ratio.
Like RATIO?
Yeah, ratio.
All right, so I'm assuming it's not what the word originally was meant for. So I wouldn't even begin, and especially if it's on. I have never been on TikTok, so I don't have a clue as to anything
Okay,
about.
I watch TikTok all the time. I cannot believe you're not on TikTok.
Mm-mm.
That is where I see all the little cat videos. They're just so adorable.
I have been suggested. I've had people say you need to get on TikTok and upload snippets of motivational shit or whatever, and use that platform for that. But I don't know. I just, you know how I feel about social media, especially right now. Like I just don't want to get any deeper into social media.
But TikTok's a little bit different. Like, you can scroll through TikTok without... I've never posted anything. Like, he's got a TikTok. And, you know, like, I'll like his stuff. But other than, like, him, I mean, I just scroll. And I just laugh my ass off. Like, it literally just brightens up your day. It's just so cool. Which is why your friend probably told you get on there and start uploading some snippets. You should just at least get familiar with TikTok because it's amazing. It's just so funny.
What's ratio?
Ratio.
Yeah.
So
Please do tell.
it has a close relation to its actual meaning of just like a ratio. So if someone were to type ratio in response to someone else's like take on something, they're trying to say the ratio of my beliefs to your beliefs are greater, so your opinion doesn't matter, basically.
That's
like-
a shitty word then.
No, it's like for people who have like absurdly bad takes, like people who are like problematic in the comments. So usually ratio is used to like
Example.
So, like, if someone were to say, like, man, this dude is just not funny, and it's a person with, like, a bunch of followers, a bunch of people think he's funny, and there's that one person who's like, I do not think this guy's funny, also he's ugly, or something. Like, they say something, like, completely belittling, then someone who's a fan of that person would say ratio on his comment, and then a bunch of other people who believe that the dude is funny and don't like this guy who's hating on him will also comment ratio to show the numbers against him.
Oh, I get it.
It's
Yeah.
to show that, like,
I
you
don't
are
know
the
why it
odd
took
one
me
out.
so long.
Everyone else likes him. You are just being mean for no reason.
Okay, all right. I mean, that's still fucking weird.
It could be used
I
in
don't
a
know why
negative
you just
context,
wouldn't-
depending on what page you're on.
Say, shut the fuck up, you're stupid.
Yeah. But that's how you get comments taken down on TikTok.
You're right. Oh, I forgot.
So you can't just be saying
Good
that.
old censorship.
This one is a newer one. I've only started using this recently just because I thought it was funny, and then it just became, I don't know, I use it.
A thing.
Just the word real.
Real?
Real.
Real.
R-E-A-L. Real.
Something that's not fake?
I know.
I mean, like, so real is used in a, like
fishing?
response to something. No, that's REEL. Real is used in a response to a statement. Real is used in a response to a statement that you deeply associate with. So, like, instead of saying, oh, I feel that, or you could say felt. That's another, like, slang word that people use. Like,
that's
I felt
not
this.
Slang. That's like a real word.
Yeah, I'm saying for that, you could say, oh, I felt this. This is, you know,
but instead of explaining, you
Yeah.
just use felt.
You say felt or real in this case. Like,
I just use, like, the 100 emoji.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 2016 lingo.
Then why is it still on my phone?
Because you are actively looking at old, like, millennial stuff, Mom.
I'm not. It's one of my emojis.
Oh,
on my phone.
I'm sure it is an emoji on your phone. It doesn't mean people use it.
I do all the fucking time.
Because you're a millennial, Mom.
Okay.
I'm not a millennial.
I mean, you act like it. What
This child.
what Gen X or Gen Y? Is it Gen Y? No, Gen Y is millennial. What Gen Xer says awesome sauce and cool beans?
Not me, because I'm not a millennial. But
I said Gen
them.
Xer.
Gen Xer.
Gen X before Gen Y, which is a millennial.
Huh.
Oh, that's what I thought. Anyways, next one.
As long as you don't call me a fucking boomer, I'm good.
That's what Gen Xer is. I'm just kidding. Gen X is right after boomer. Anyways.
Wasn't I a boomer, though? 82? Isn't it the 80s? Boomers? Baby boomers?
Well, the baby boomers were the generation before that, you know, because there was, when everybody started coming back from the war, and all of a sudden all of these women were popping out babies because their husbands had been overseas for so long. That was the great baby boom generation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Here we are.
So this one should be easy for Mom.
So you're a boomer.
So you're probably gonna not know what this is.
Okay.
The word sus.
Sus! I love that word.
Sus?
That's so sus. Come on, you got kids, Jason. How do you not know this?
They don't talk to me about sus.
Oh, they should.
I've
So
never heard.
I'll give you. Oh my God, both my kids use this shit all the time. And when Chase did that to me one day, it was like, no, we ran out, you know, he's like, I want dessert. And I'm just like, okay, well, what do you want? And he's like, I want a push pop. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, honey, we're all out of push pops. And he stops and he looks at me and he's like, sus. And I'm just like, sus? What the fuck is that? It's suspect. Like, they don't believe what you're saying. Yeah, it's suspect. But instead of saying suspect like a normal fucking person, they're like, sus. Or if they think you're being fucking sketchy, they'll be like, sus.
That's sus.
I've got nothing. I have never heard of that. Nobody has ever said that to me in any context until right now.
I loved that word.
Okay.
It's probably going to go out of style in probably like 2 days.
Right. Well, right.
And they'll probably, like, the new slang term for that will be like, suh. You know, because, like, the fucking lazy generation where I don't want to type out, I have to put, like, IDK.
Mom, you text me IDK sometimes.
Just, no,
If-
Yeah, you do.
I understand that. And I have gone on rants about how lazy people have gotten in this day and age with their communication. There is a guy that you and I both know, Amy, and anytime somebody posts anything that is worth celebrating, generally you would write congratulations.
Yeah.
Grats. Grats. Grats.
I think I know who you're talking about.
What the fuck are you so busy? Are you so disinclined to what's happening that you can't make the effort to write out the entire word of congratulations? Another one is HBD, which sounds like a disease of some sort. Well, it's happy
Like,
birthday.
what the fuck? Oh, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And it's like, if
It's
you
happy
can't,
birthday.
if you can't take that extra 2 seconds to actually write out the whole thing, don't fucking bother, because you look ridiculous. You sound ridiculous, and I no longer have any interest in communicating with you on this topic, where I'm at with it.
Thank you so much for the HBD. I don't know how I could have lived without it.
I'm telling you, it sounds like a disease that nobody wants any part of.
I almost thought it was like BDs. I don't even, when people say BDs, they're talking about Mongolian barbecue. I don't get it. There's no D in Mongolian barbecue. So why do they call it BDs?
I don't know if that's like the owner, the initials of the first owner for that. I don't know. BD's Mongolian barbecue, which I'm a big fan of.
Oh shit!
Its whole name is BD.
I don't know. I just know it's Mongolian barbecue, and everyone's like BDs, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I call it Mongolian barbecue. I rarely remember the BD part.
I know.
I know we went on a sidebar, man. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
that triggered the whole Grats thing, because it just
I don't blame you.
That bad. It irks me that bad.
I wouldn't even fucking waste a like onto that comment. If you could not spell out the whole fucking word, which, let me tell you, autocorrect, after you put in con and then you put the G, it like auto does the whole word. All you got to do is press the little space bar.
Right.
So it's less typing to say congratulations than it is to say grats. So there.
You don't sound hip. You don't sound cool. You sound absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, fuck it.
He sounds like he doesn't know English. Continue.
Sorry.
Anywho,
I'll shut up.
Let's do based. Not
Who?
based as in turkey based. Based as in like based on.
Okay.
Like based on a true story? Like it's...
So it's gonna take me a second to explain this fully. Because I had to explain it to my grandfather of who I want to say it so bad. Because it's just funny to me, I don't know why. But based is like it's based on like hard facts. Like when you agree with someone so hard, like with someone's like viewpoint, you would say this is based because it's based on what you see as true facts. So
what you see as true facts or actual true facts?
It's what you see as true facts. So you're just saying this is based because it's heavily relatable, basically.
Why don't you just say it's heavily relatable? I don't fucking understand!
I like to explain things thoroughly.
No,
I'm glad you are. But
you're talking about why you don't just say heavily relatable?
Yeah!
Because it's the internet.
Why don't you just say, oh, I can relate? How? Or, oh, relatable. No, I have to make up a fucking word that's already a word so it can be like double in the dictionary, used twice, because the dictionary ain't big enough already.
Right.
Come on.
The next one is quite silly, and I say it sometimes. It's another word I tried to get my grandfather to learn. There are 2 words, technically. Cringe-pilled.
Cringe-pilled?
Yeah.
Like, if that's cringy, and I'm about to take a Tylenol pill?
No. No. Nothing?
Cringe-pilled.
when I think of cringe, it's like,
Yeah.
less than ideal, less than awesome.
Okay.
That's cringy
I
as fuck. Cringy AF for those that are fucking lazy. I do say AF, but that's only because I'm trying to cut down on my F word.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Matt?
What is it?
Anyways, cringe pill. So, in relations to the Matrix, when you were offered the red or the blue pill, you take the red pill, right? So you're willing to open your mind, and if you take the blue pill, you are going to maintain your mind in this closed space, and you don't want to explore further. So when they took the pill version of that, and then said you took the cringe pill, so they're saying that you are cringe basically by adding on an extra word, like that action was cringe pilled because you decided to take the cringe pill. In relation to Matrix. I told you it's silly.
Have you ever said that?
Yeah, all the time.
Why the fuck would you say it?
Because it's cringe pill. It's funny. It's more of like a meme.
You asked the question,
No one
right?
uses it in like actual intellectual conversations. It's only when you're like trying to be funny or like you're in like a less formal situation with your friends that also understand what it means. I'm not going to say that's cringe pilled around you because I know you don't know what it means, but now you do.
Still don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
I will just make fun of you all day.
I got heaps to say it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was telling him what it meant. I'm like, one day I want you to say it to me so that I'm caught off guard. And he's just like, okay. And then one day he was like, Matt, you're real base today. Definitely not cringe pilled. And I lost it. It was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
How much time do we got left?
As long as you need, pal. We're around the 41, 42 minute mark.
Jason,
Yeah.
bar.
My bar, I love them.
I want you to start thinking of, and maybe I should have did this before the thing, but I want you to start thinking of things that our parents used to say to us and ask him if he knows what it means.
That might be interesting. Although I am just an infinite
Yeah,
like,
get out your
library of information.
get out your phone and
so.
Google some of the old sayings real quick. Anyways, go ahead.
So this is relating to another one that we did earlier. If I were to refer to someone as a walking L, like the letter L.
Loser.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Loser.
They're a walking L. They just have like the worst opinions. They do the worst things. They're a walking L.
See, that kind of goes against the whole, you guys trying to shorten words because you're lazy generation.
I didn't say we were lazy. You said we were lazy.
I know. But in any case, this generation, they like shortening words and then coming up with words, with a word that means a crazy, crazy long explanation. And so why would you, instead of just saying, like, L, why would you put walking L? I mean, that's so many letters for you guys to comprehend.
I was originally going to just put L, but I felt like that was self-explanatory.
Right.
But I was just giving another variation of how, like, L and W would be used. Because you could say walking W. Like he's an alive and walking W. Like, he is amazing. He's a great person,
No, I get
he's
what
a
you're
walking
saying.
L, you know what I mean? All right. This one's gonna be funny to me. It's gonna be funny to me. The corn emoji.
The corn emoji.
Yeah, the emoji of corn.
I know what the eggplant emoji stands for.
I was thinking of that earlier, but what does the corn emoji mean?
Is that
It's used on TikTok because.
Is that like it means it's like corny?
No.
No. That was probably my best guess. Do you know what it means?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is very unflattering, and
More unflattering than the eggplant?
I feel like if you're going to use a corn emoji for anything other than describing what's for dinner tonight, it's because it's
Say it, Jason.
it's being used as a
Maybe don't say it.
I don't want to. Something to plug certain holes. Something along those lines. I mean,
That's
I
not
mean, what else? What else do you use the corn emoji for?
So the use of the corn emoji in conversation originally spawned on TikTok because of, like we were talking about earlier, like they don't like certain words, so they don't show videos that include certain words and or are against terms of service.
Okay.
Corn is a replacement word for an adult film.
Porn?
Yeah.
For
Corn
the love of Christ, are you kidding? I would have never imagined that's what
You
that was
went
for.
to like the dark side.
I told you I didn't want to say
That was,
it.
I told you not to say it. You're like,
No.
Matt's like, say it, say it.
I know. What are you thinking?
This is supposed to be funny, Jason.
Oh,
Hey.
It's a good time.
I'm like, I hope that is not what that means.
I was hoping
Jesus
so, too.
Christ.
But yeah,
Fucking had me dying.
since you can't use certain words on TikTok, we have to use replacement words that we all can like signify. It's like code speak, because we know what we're talking about when we use these emojis or different alternated words,
Okay.
and TikTok doesn't pick it up as what it's supposed to.
So, someone told me something about like a code word for drugs when you're trying to get drugs. What in the hell was it? It was so simple. And I was like, what in the hell?
Was
Or
it a
no.
needle?
No, it meant their dealer.
Oh, plug?
Plug! Yes!
Yeah.
Plug! It's like a drug dealer. So when you start, like when you see someone talking about a plug, I need to go see my plug, or I need to go to plug. I need to.
Or if they have the plug emoji, because there's an actual plug emoji.
Yeah, it means drug dealer. Can you believe that shit? Like plug. PLUG. Drug dealer.
I'm learning a lot here today, and like my brain is, this is a lot. Like I didn't realize that all this shit was going on. I guess I need to stay more in tune as to what is happening out there instead of living in my own little bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when it comes to kids, let me tell you, there was just a news story about this. And I don't know if you know what it is, but when kids were saying, I need my back to school necklace, I'm about to go get my back to school necklace. Have you heard that? Apparently, it means their noose. Like, they were talking about, like, the stresses of having to go back to school, and they were very unhappy about it. And so, you know, kids were saying, I need my back to school necklace, and it meant... I was like, what the fuck? It was like, it was all over the news and stuff, and I'm just like, what in the hell?
Never heard that one.
You kids.
That's a topic for another day.
I know. It was
could
just
go.
insane.
It's got to be the youngins, not me.
You got any more?
Yeah, a lot more. On the same accord of words on TikTok that are used in replacement of others. Can you tell me what an accountant is?
An accountant.
The person that counts the money at the drug dealer's house?
Nope. Like if someone were to be asked, "Oh, what do you do?" and on TikTok they're like, "Oh, I'm an accountant."
Does it have anything to do with money?
I mean, they get money.
Are they a content creator of some sort?
A content creator is called an accountant?
I'm just guessing.
Content, mother.
Type of content.
You know,
What?
like if you're making shit for like YouTube.
Pimp?
No.
If you're
Okay.
a pimp?
Okay, this is going on way too far. You guys are going off the rails. No, it's not a pimp, and it's not. It's a content creator. It's just the type of content that's different. When people say that they're an accountant, it's because they don't want to say that they're into sex work. So like OnlyFans stuff, or if they make pornographic films, or if they're just straight up like a prostitute or stripper. They say that they're an accountant because they get a lot of money for what they do, but it's more taboo. You know what I mean?
I guess.
So they just say, I'm an accountant.
That's bizarre.
So if anyone in our family ever says, oh, I'm an accountant, and you're
You
like,
got
I
questions.
didn't go to school for accounting, now you know. Now it lurks in your brain
Well, luckily, we have none of those in our family.
that we know of.
No accountants.
No accountants at
Ever.
all. All right. Here's a funny little word that I've been saying recently. It's called Zaza.
Is it pizza?
No.
I know when you guys.
That's
like,
what I thought it was going to be too. Zaza. Can you use it in a sentence, Matt?
If I used it in a sentence, it would give away what it is.
Ah, shit.
Aye.
I could say, when I walked out of my apartment, I smelled some good Zaza. I can say that.
Fucking pizza.
Pot.
What?
It's a type of pot.
And it took you that long to
Again, never heard of it. Never heard of Zaza.
It's a type of strain, I'm not sure. But yeah, people say Zaza in relation to weed. So
I will store that in the memory bank.
it's like grass or like, Mary Jane. Zaza.
Why can't you just continue calling it grass? I enjoy the old people calling it grass. Yes, it is just so hilarious to me when they're like smoking some grass. They're just so old.
When
I
Grandpa
just
said
love
something
it.
about smoking a doobie to me, it was the funniest thing.
Smoking a doobie.
Yeah.
Weed. What's the other one? Doobie. Yeah. Spliff. My brother used to say spliff.
Split.
I'm gonna get you a spliff. It sounds horrible. I don't know if I want a spliff, but then he explained what the shit.
What the fuck is a spliff? Is there anything extra in it?
Well, Anyway,
All right. If someone were to say on God, what would you think of?
On God?
Yeah.
Like that's the truth on God. That's, I mean,
It's
like
an
they're
easy one.
swearing on
Yeah, like,
on God.
you
like if
can't
someone
back
said,
up.
I'm my mama,
Yeah. Why don't they just continue saying I'm my mama?
They do, but they also say on God.
Oh, okay. That was lame.
I said it was an easy one.
Okay.
If you were to see the skull emoji, what would you think of? Because people use this.
I'm dead!
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's just like that was so funny. I'm dead. That's it. It's just an emoji now.
Thank God they haven't fucked with the skeleton emoji. Because if that meant something else that was less than awesome, I would have a real personal issue with that.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Ice.
That's a form of methamphetamine.
I'm sure it is, but that's not exactly what I'm referring to.
Diamonds.
Yeah. So it's like ice and drip go together. That's where drip came from. Because if your ice is clean, it's dripping. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, if you got a bunch of like diamonds or like a gold necklace, it's ice. I don't know why gold is ice. It's just a form of jewelry. Ice is diamonds and just a form of jewelry.
Have you ever seen that movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, with Matthew McConaughey and
Kate Hudson?
yeah.
No. I mean, I know of it.
I'm like, how did you even know she was in it? And then you guys say no.
I mean, I know of it, but I've never watched it. No.
He's trying to get this diamond account, and it's like the Lowers, and they sell diamonds, and he's trying to like market their diamonds, and so he puts on this thing, and he calls it frosting, and he's like, ladies, frost yourself, and it's freaking hilarious. It's just hilarious, but yeah, frosting is also diamond.
All right.
I fucking love him.
A lot of people do.
Most people.
I don't want to say the next one, but I kind of gotta. If you were to hear the word "badussy," what would you think of?
Nothing that I can say on the air.
Yeah.
Not after the corn debacle. You know.
I'm pretty sure I know where this is going, and that's gross, Matt.
I don't know where it's going, Matt.
You don't want to know.
What do you think it is? It's not like extremely horrible.
What is it?
It's just yeah.
I don't know, obviously.
It's an orifice.
Stop. No. We are not going there.
It's an orifice.
You cannot say that.
It's the most intellectual word. Would you rather me say the other version?
What, vagina?
Yeah.
Like the correct term for it? Yeah, I would
orifice.
rather you say that than
It's an orifice.
whatever the hell just came out of your mouth.
An orifice.
You can stop saying that word.
That's what it is. The hole in the body. Your nostrils are orifices.
Stop it. Stop. Stop saying that word.
Yeah, your orifices.
Can you just please move on to the next word?
Surprisingly enough, the next word is orifice. No.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. This one, I actually don't like using this one. I think it's very cringe.
That last one was cringe. Are you kidding me?
Are you making fun of my list? The next word is the alphabet mafia.
Is this somebody that will critique how people spell or say words in text messaging or something like that?
No, that's what's it called?
That's a grammar police.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a
Grammar Nazi.
I'm a grammar Nazi.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, no, the alphabet mafia is something totally different.
What is it?
So it's another word for the LGBTQ.
Why? Oh, because of all the letters and stuff?
Alphabet. And they thought it was the funniest thing. Like the alphabet mafia.
Are they so they're making fun of it?
No, they made it. The LGBTQ called themselves the alphabet mafia.
Oh.
And then yeah.
I mean, as long as it's something along those lines, like they coined that phrase, and it wasn't something derogatory.
Yeah, now I'm like totally confused because I was about to get really mad for him.
No.
Yeah, I was too. I'll be like, you know what? Fuck you people.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's strictly used by the LGBTQ or other people that are like allies of the LGBTQ. And I think it's dumb. Like, I thought it was funny when it came out. And I'm like, haha, yeah.
But then it turned out to be like a lifelong thing.
Yeah, it gets used. You hear it so many times, and you're like, okay, it's just like you're beating a dead horse kind of thing. Like,
you know what that means too?
Yeah, I know what beating a dead horse means.
Do you? So, is there any like big ones on there, or are we pretty much?
I got one last one for you.
Okay, one last one, and then you need to hit him with some knowledge.
Yeah, show me, Jason. Show me. As if I haven't had you sitting there wondering what I'm saying for the past hour. No. Okay, so the last one, YT. The letters Y and T together. No space. YT.
YT. That's a band, actually. Y&T.
It's just YT.
YT. YouTube.
No. That's the original, like, people would, say YouTube YT.
Yeah. YT.
I don't know.
Word.
You something. No?
Is the
What
first
if-
word you?
No, it's not an acronym.
It's not an acronym.
Alright,
YT.
then I got nothing.
If you were to pronounce it, or try to pronounce it, if it was pronounceable, it'd be white. So people of color use this to say white people.
What?
Yeah. People say,
Oh, okay. Interesting.
yeah.
Very
Also
interesting.
because if you use, it's another TikTok thing. It doesn't like the words white, black, brown, and I think yellow as well. So they use POC if you're talking about a person of color,
Okay.
and then
I've seen that.
and then for white people, it's just YT.
That's so bizarre.
It's just another way to get around the terms of service.
Okay.
It's not like a, as
So
far
they're
as I
not
know,
like
it's not like a
trying
slur.
to. They're
you
not
know?
like trying to create these own. Like it wasn't like white people trying to create
Yeah.
another white people slang like cracker or any. I was called a cracker a few times actually.
I was thinking about putting
It's-
cracker on there.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
I would love to be called a honky.
That's funny because that's on my list right here.
Why is it? A honky?
Boom.
Honky.
All
Honky,
right. Let's
yeah.
see how Matt does.
All right,
Turn the
Matt.
tables, Jason.
Huh?
Said, let's turn the tables.
Matt, well, what if I said to you, Zeke? What is Zeke?
Zeke?
Z-E-E-K.
Z-E-E-K?
Z-E-E-K. Zeke.
Hmm.
These are words that we grew up with.
I think of before you spelled it out for me, I thought of the name Zeke.
Z-E-E-K.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. I have no idea on that one. What is it?
It is a nerd with undeniable sex appeal.
What?
It is a nerd, somebody that would be deemed a nerd for whatever reason, but there was something about him or her that was undeniably sexy. It would be called a Zeke. They wouldn't be a geek.
Yeah, I
They
was
would
gonna
be a
say, would
Zeke.
be a Zeke.
Some of these are, we still use to this day, like bounce. If I say to you, bounce, I'm going to bounce. What am I doing?
Yeah, I know about you. Yeah, I'm out.
Yep. See ya. Tubular.
That's tubular. Like, I don't know. Like, it's rad. Cool.
Remarkable or breathtaking.
Yeah.
Tell me, Booyah is on there.
Booyah? I haven't gotten that far down. I haven't seen it yet. Fat.
Fat?
Fat.
Like, and that's fat. Is that like P-H-A-T?
P-H-A-T.
Yeah. Like, that's, I don't know how to explain it other than that's fat.
Nope.
Like,
It is an acronym, Matt.
that's an acronym?
It's an acronym.
Pretty.
Go ahead, Amy.
Hold on, he's trying to figure it out. P-H-A-T.
I know how to spell it.
Yo, you fat. Ellie, I'm not saying that to you.
Pretty hot and things. I don't know.
No, pretty hot and tempting. You were
Oh.
very close.
Pretty close. Pretty close. Matt, if I was to say to bag your face, what am I telling you to do?
Kill myself? Does that like put a grocery bag over my face and suffocate myself?
It's to cover your face because you.
I swear to God, I thought you were gonna say teabag.
Not teabag. Gag me with a spoon.
I've heard that said so many times that I just
never know what it meant.
well, I knew like I understood the context. I just don't know like the actual meaning. Like, gag me with a spoon. Like it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's something that brings a degree of contempt, or
Okay.
revulsion. It's like, oh, gag me with a spoon.
Yeah.
I love your girl voice. My God.
Hey,
It was a spit.
what's your damage?
What's your damage? I've used that before. Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like,
What's the problem?
yeah.
Word.
Word.
Yeah, he says that.
I say
still.
word all the time.
In what context, though?
Like in agreement with something. Like if someone were to say like, man, this pizza is so good, I'd be like, word.
Yeah.
It's real good. Yeah.
Butter.
Butter?
If I was to tell you something was butter, what am I telling you?
Butter. I don't know.
If I was to call you a butterface.
I know that. I've heard that.
I know it's
See,
not the same thing.
No, it's not.
the same.
If I said that something was butter, it means it was smooth.
Oh,
It was
smooth.
Smooth.
Smooth like butter. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. Let me find. I did that one. Don't have a cow.
Don't have a cow. Yeah, like, don't get your panties in a twist. Hates
Yeah.
that one. Shouldn't have said
Relax. Brody.
Brody?
Brody. Yeah.
It's like bro, isn't it? Like bro. It's just a long-
But if I was to say that something was grody, it means it's absolutely appalling and disgusting and.
I say grody, not Brody.
That's sick.
Okay.
Means a good thing.
Grindage.
Grindage! Wow. Yeah, Matt, what's grind? That's a good one.
I went deep into that one. Grindage.
All the way into son-in-law. Which
That's funny because that's what's used in this example here.
that's so funny.
Yeah. Any idea, Matt? No? It describes the delicious food you intend to chow down with extreme enthusiasm.
Let's munch on some grindage.
Let's see. Use that one. Use that one.
I have a phrase.
Yeah, go ahead.
A bad workman blames his tools. No, hold on, that's so stupid. A bad penny always turns up. What does that mean?
A bad penny always turns up.
Yeah.
Karma, basically. Like, karma's a mean person. You gotta, like what goes around comes around, kind of thing.
Kinda. It's like a bad deed comes to light. Like a bad person will come to light. Yeah. So you were kind of close.
If I tell you that I'm amped about something, what am I, Matt?
You're like stoked. You're like excited.
Yeah. Airhead. If I
Airhead?
said, yeah.
The they're like so egotistical. Their head is just full of hot air. Like,
more along the lines that there's nothing in between the ears.
oh, okay.
Blondes back in the day were typically called airheads because of the stereotypical behavior pattern. Like that, and it wasn't always just blondes, but they got the bad rap for it. So yeah, they're like,
Yeah. But did you call me a thumbhead for being blonde? What's the blonde
No,
thing?
it's a towhead.
Towhead.
You were a towhead.
yeah, oh yeah, Jesus, that's been around for years. My mom and dad said I was a towhead when I was born. Now I have, well, none. So, okay, okay, BFF, you know what that is, I'm sure. If I tell you that something is big time, what is that?
Like
Big time.
like it's a lot. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, we're in like it's like if you were to say like we're in trouble, like big time. Like, you know, like it's a excruciatingly large amount of like
Adds emphasis to the situation.
yeah.
What does a rolling stone gathers no moss mean?
That's a good one. I
That
haven't
is,
heard that in a long time.
I know.
Someone if you just keep on trucking, you know, like oh
Let me use
Yeah.
a saying on another saying.
yeah. I mean, that's the best way I can explain it.
It means that it's hard to put down roots when you're moving. Or it also means it encourages action instead of standing still.
To keep on trucking.
Bomb diggity.
Bomb diggity.
It's the bomb diggity. It's the same as bomb.com. Like, it's the bomb. But then they added diggity. The bomb diggity. I don't know. It's like
Another way of saying like something's awesome.
Yeah.
What does a stitch in time saves 9 mean? A stitch in time saves 9.
Man, oh man, you are going deep into the woods with some of these.
My grandmother's stuff.
I was going to say, this is like
It means
in books.
a little effort now may save you lots of effort later.
Oh.
Ow. Nice.
These aren't slang. This is just
You'll catch more flies with honey than you will vinegar. What does that mean?
be nice.
Yeah. Right. It means be nice.
If I tell you something's dope,
If something's dope,
yeah.
it's dope. It's awesome.
Thank you.
These are all words I use.
I know. Because you guys
Well,
like,
okay. It's funny you say, okay. You said that just now. These are words that you use. These are words we used. Okay. So that goes hand in hand with really that encapsulates so much about our generation that what we did, how we talked, still resonates to this day. Whereas in your context, if people are still saying 5 years from now some of the shit that you put on here tonight, the future of our vocabulary is fundamentally fucked, because I knew not maybe 20% of what you said here tonight, self-admittedly, because I'm not in that realm. I don't spend a tremendous amount of time with the current culture of what is deemed popular or acceptable, or this is how the kids are talking. And I realize I probably should be a little bit more in tune in that. but I don't understand it. And if I don't understand it and I don't have the time to learn about it, I'm not going to give my time and focus that I do have on it. But as I laid some of these out, like I remember saying this shit when I was 7, 8, 9 years old.
Right.
Your mom does too. And then you just sat here as a 21-year-old kid, or you're not kid, young man. My apologies. No offense was intended, but to us, you will always be Amy's kid, right?
Yeah.
But you're saying shit that we said 30, 40 years ago. I don't believe your generation's slang or vocabulary is going to last the test of time, whereas I feel like ours will. Because you still hear shit from the 50s. You still hear shit from the 60s. Man, that's groovy. Groovy is starting, like I'm hearing that more and more on the shop floor, which is the last place you would expect something like that, but it's starting to become a resurgence of sorts.
Right.
So it just really hammers home a number of different things, but just like the longevity and the impact that type of vocabulary had on mainstream and in real life resonates 40 plus years later. Amy, would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, can you just imagine, like, I cannot think that, like, oh, no cap. That's not going to survive. So they took something that was so simple in a lot of these phrases, and I know it's not you because I know that you didn't, come up with this shit. But it's like they took something that was already so simple and they gave it a ridiculous thing, and I don't know if maybe like, back in the day when we were saying these things, like, oh, far out, or, that's cool, like cool was a slang term that came to fruition and just stuck like all throughout the whole thing. But I can't imagine I'm going to be like, oh yeah, no cap based. Take a cringe pill, or I don't even know how to use those terms because there's a such simpler way of saying it that I don't need to. And if these terms are made for simplicity, the majority of them made for simplicity, and then some of them made to get around the rules of like Facebook. And
That's it. I was waiting for you to pause because I was going to say that these words that they're coming up with is not to establish their own identity. It's not to establish their own gimmicks. It is done in a deceitful way to get your message out there without it causing red flags.
Right.
And like when you are basing something that is fundamentally trying to get one over, for the lack of a better term, it is done on a negative connotation to the point to where things like that, now that I've heard a lot of these things and why these words were created or these acronyms were created, it's nothing more than to cause a level of deceit. And I don't want any part of that. You know what I'm saying? And I realize I'm older and that's part of my generation. I get that. And this is not what we did, does not resonate with what they're doing now. I understand that, but it goes right back to what I just got done talking about. Right. Is our words they didn't have, I mean, some of them did, make no mistake, but by and large, they weren't created, these phrases weren't created to pull one over on anybody or try to be deceitful. It was just a different way of expressing how we were feeling. Like bad was good. Like, oh my God, that is bad. But you're really saying that it was awesome. It was beyond good. It was awesome. It became so awesome. It was bad. But you're hearing things like, and Matt laid a few of these out. Some of these were created for TikTok so that it doesn't get flagged as, going against their standards and practices, right?
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I just, it's very odd. And I mean, like, I'm all for freedom of speech and everything, but if the platform isn't letting you go on there and be yourselves and say what you want to say, then why even support that platform in the first place?
There it is. It doesn't always have to be a gray area,
Right.
you know. It does come back down to fundamental.
The fucking corn emoji? Like, the corn emoji is porn. That's sentences. Okay, anyone that puts a sentence together with emojis, like in a personal message, and I've seen it happen, and it's ridiculous. Like, I cannot fathom that. Like, you're talking to me, and if you can't just say what you want to say, but instead of saying like tree, you post a picture of a tree. You know, like, really? it's so juvenile. I just can't.
Now, I
There
will
is
use
after
like the
that.
facial expressions emojis from time to time to solidify my level
That's a
of
facial
feeling.
expression.
Right.
That's not saying like I and then the heart emoji and then like a beer glass. Instead of just saying, "Oh yeah, dude, I like beer." Like, you're sending me these pictures instead of spelling out the word. It's like, didn't it take you forever to scroll through all those emoji to find that beer glass? Or maybe you just use it so goddamn much it's just right there at your disposal.
Right.
You can type it in, though. You can type in and search for emojis.
Oh, okay. So apparently you can type and search. Like, I'll send GIFs and stuff. Like, if I'm super excited about something, instead of saying super excited, I will post that little GIF of like Jonah Hill being like,
Yeah.
you know, because it's hilarious, and I want the other person to get how truly excited I am. So that's when I'll use GIFs. Is when I really want to get my point across that I'm like really super excited or I'm really upset about something, but I don't use them every time.
Did you say GIF?
GIF is it?
It's GIF.
Whatever. GIF.
You don't believe in God, do you? It's God.
What about a giraffe? It's not a giraffe.
It's because of the grammatical structure of the word,
It's
Mom.
grammatical, not dramatical.
Huh?
Right. Precisely.
You say it as a soft G when it's followed by an I and then another consonant. Specifically double consonants. GIF is GIF.
And again, giraffe. It's not giraffe.
Did you not hear what I said?
Yeah. I don't want.
R.
Listen, I don't want an English lesson, nor do I need one from someone that takes little words for big words. I don't know. I'm fine.
This has been nothing short of educational. I mean, truly. Like, I learned things today that I had just no idea about. So this
Right.
was a good idea, Matt. I really appreciate your contribution to the topic this week. Like,
Absolutely.
some of it was like, damn, like, I had no
It was
idea.
fun.
It was. It was. I learned a lot today, and I'm not trying to be funny. Like, it's got me thinking about stuff. Now I know I'm going to have to really have my ear to the floor and be like, what are these kids saying? What are my kids saying? And
Well, maybe if you hear a word, you'll be like, oh my God, I know what that means now.
right. Very cool. Very
Go
cool.
out and get that W. Don't forget your cringe pill.
Right.
If you do,
No, you don't want to be cringe pilled.
You'll be a walking L.
Yeah, you'd be a walking L if you were cringe pilled.
Oh, we don't want that going on.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, Matt, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, brother. I really appreciate this was fun. This was cool. I dug it. So, Amy, it's always an experience here on the Real Podcast. And if anybody has any questions, comments, feedback, show topic ideas, anything of the sort, look for the Real Podcast on Facebook, or you can find our links over on clousetotheheart.net. And for all the latest information, all the latest merchandise, I should say, head on over to cafepress.com/PFC network and click on the Real Podcast link, and it will bring up its own store with even more merchandise coming in the next couple of days. Not telling you what it is. I'm just going to upload it and wait. Yeah, prayers up. So, Amy, anything you want to throw in before we put a bow on this?
No, thanks. I think my brain is fried.
I understand.
It's scrambled.
Yeah. Is there a word for that, Matt? When you are just so discombobulated by everything, you're just like.
No, there is no word for that. It's the hand motion.
Off the goop.
Off the goop, he says.
Off the goop?
Make that up. No.
That's a real thing?
Jesus. Close this bitch out.
Yeah, we're out of here. We appreciate everybody tuning in either on the podcast or YouTube. Keep checking out our social media outlets for all the latest news and information about this show and all of our great shows. For Amy Sheridan, her son Matt, I'm Jason Clouse. We appreciate you all. We'll see you next week right here on the Real Podcast on the PFC Podcast Network, powered by Anchor.fm.